Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host, Matt, and with me this week are...
Me, Eli.
And
me, Mike, the greatest, back at it again.
He chose to finally show up this week.
He actually just dies every week. And sometimes, he comes back to life for the podcast. Other times, the alarm clock doesn't go off and he just stays in the grave.
At 9 o'clock at night.
Alright, so they think I wear a cape during the podcast. Alright, I'm a legit vampire. Thanks, Eli. Now everyone's got the wrong image about me.
Anyway, so let's get on to what we've been playing. Most of this podcast is probably going to be Pokemon because there's not really much other news. So if you like Pokemon, you should like this episode. If not, well, listen anyway because I told you to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So
everyone's talking about it. It's expected.
Wait, before we get to Pokemon, can we talk about other stuff we've been playing?
Yeah, I was just about to. Okay. So, I've been, it's still Pokemon related, but, I've been getting back into the Pokemon trading card game, a little bit this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the online one on, your app or whatever. Screw the desktop. I finally decided to play online, and my reason before was, oh man, if I play online, I'm just gonna get creamed by all these people who've been playing it a lot. Apparently not, but I also filtered it so I'm only playing against, themed pre-made decks. So it's not like, oh, this person spent like hours making this. It's like, no, it's a pre-made one, so you're just forced to use whatever cards you're in. A lot of the challenges, require you to beat, I don't know, X amount of Pokemon or do X amount of damage with water Pokemon or fire. So that's kind of the reason for me sticking to it. I might actually make a deck after because I've collected so many cards over the last couple of months, just by logging in and whatnot. But, I'm having fun with it. I've noticed that, people don't like to stay on too long. So how it works is if you kill someone's Pokemon, they lose, if you kill a Pokemon, you gain one of 6 like randomly selected cards from your deck. Sometimes they're good, like strong Pokemon. Sometimes it's just energy. But basically, if you kill 6 of any of your opponent's Pokemon, they lose. Gosh dang it, stupid phone. And what? Let me put this in a drawer somewhere. Sorry about that. I forgot to unhook that. Anyway, what usually happens is rather than staying for all 6, people usually concede like halfway through because they realize I'm not going to be able to make a comeback, but I'm stubborn. I'll just keep playing until like I possibly have to lose because I'm just stubborn. I'm like, no, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to make sure I'm actually going to lose. I'm not going to forfeit. But even sometimes I have to like concede because like, the problem is once someone gets a strong enough Pokemon, they pretty much wipe through the rest of your Pokemon Juggernaut style. So once they get like a 3rd evolution to a Pokemon or a legendary or something, you're basically screwed. And I think that it kind of sucks because like it's a card game, so the cards are randomly shuffled, and sometimes someone can start off with like a legendary card, and it's like, okay, sure, they need 3 or 4 energy to be able to pull off an attack, but once they get that, they're basically unstoppable, and it gets annoying and pretty unfair. Same with the other part of the random shuffling that kind of sucks is how the game works is you have 1 active Pokemon on the field that fights, and then you have a bench that hold up to like 6 Pokemon or something. So either you lose, if 6 of your Pokemon faint, you lose, but if your active Pokemon and faints and there's no Pokemon in your bench, you automatically lose regardless. And what can happen is you could start a game with 1 basic Pokemon. So you have to, regardless of what your cards have, if you don't have a basic Pokemon, you just reshuffle your cards. But you can only, they force you so that you have to have at least 1, which makes sense. The problem randomly shuffling cards is that you could start off with one basic Pokemon, and if you get no other basic Pokemon, you're just left with the one that's active on the field. And if that gets killed and you have no other Pokemon you're able to put on your bench, you automatically lose, which is fine, because later in the game, if you kill like a bunch of Pokemon, it's like, okay, that's fair enough, you killed a lot. But if you're starting the game and I have one on the field and no other Pokemon I can put on the bench because they're not the first evolution in that line of Pokemon, it's like I automatically lose, and it's because of a random just a poor draw the cards, which is just really stupid. I mean, I know part of card games is luck, but it just seems really stupid that, hey, I just started the game and now I died after like 5 turns just because I couldn't put anything else on the field. So that kind of mugs me, but overall it's pretty fun. I like how you can get rewards just for logging in, so after like 5 days you get a new like booster pack of cards if you want to make like your own custom deck in the future, and it's not that hard to gain coins and buy other decks and other booster cards, so it's not like you really have to put in money into it. And I don't even think there are microtransactions. I don't think I've really checked. I think it's free, but I don't know. Regardless, it's a pretty fun game. If you like Pokemon, check it out for sure. I don't know if any of you had anything to add to that or not.
No, I never got into it. I owned a bunch of cards, but I never got into, the meta or the online stuff at all.
Yeah. It's actually easier. The card game is actually easier than the actual game because, the actual game has like, 17, 18 types now, and the card game only, I think, has like 10 or so. Mm-hmm. The only weird thing is you'll think one Pokemon has a specific weakness and realize it has a different one because, one Pokemon could have multiple weaknesses, but they have to choose one specific, or in the card game, they only choose one specific one. So it might not be weak to electricity, but it might be weak to steel or something. Like, what the heck? So you just got to check up on that. But, I don't know. If you like Pokemon, check it out. But
I enjoyed the card game for what it was before I really got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I think the card game is awesome. Like, the real card game. Like, I mean, I love the Game Boy one. That was the one I really played. And then I played it in, like, real life. Like, they used to have it at Toys R Us. It was, like, a Saturday league. Mm-hmm. So I have all the Pokemon badges when you used to feed some of the guys who work there. So it was pretty cool like that. But, yeah, I mean, it's actually real simple. It looks confusing at first. You're like, I don't get it. But it's about having 1,000,000 energy cards and then having some badass Pokemon. And then, just catching the drift. Like, all the cards will say the weakness on it. Mm-hmm. So, but there's like 8 different types of Mewtwo. You guys gotta realize that too.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I got Mewtwo. It's like, yeah, so do I, dude. But my Mewtwo can do like Shadow Claw, and your Mewtwo can only like, I don't know, pick up a rock. So,
yeah.
But yeah, blah. Pokemon the card game, the old days.
It's funny. It's easier to get into than the actual game because the actual game is more complicated, and neither of them.
Yeah, it really is.
Neither of them actually give you tutorials. It's just like, here you go, we hope you figure it out for yourself.
What are you talking about? I love training for EVs and IVs. That's so freaking easy.
I forgot what Professor Oak was telling me about that. He's like, bro, he's like, yo, you got an IV and EV trainer. Here's a perfect ditto. I was like, oh yeah, how can I be so dumb? My bad, Professor Oak. All right? Like, he's like, yo, noob-ass trash. I was like, damn, bro. All right? He's like, yo, you got to spend days beyond this. I was like, I thought it was just about leveling up. He's like, oh, you casual scum.
Professor Oak is throwing shade at you.
Yeah, I know. He's like, he's Professor Oak 69 online and stuff.
Gosh. I don't know how that brought up. But, yeah, Eli, what have you been playing besides Pokemon Go?
I played, so I've been playing 2 games other than Pokemon Go. Number 1, I played this Xbox One PC game called Anarcute. It's a game where you take, a group of cute animals, including bunnies and, doggies and stuff like that, and you run amok through a city, burning down buildings and torching everything. It's an interesting idea. The game's a little bit reminds me of Pikmin, even though it's not a strategy game. You kind of like each of these animals reminds me of Pikmin because it's like you're controlling this mob pretty much. I thought the game was good. It's fun. If you watch videos, you'll know what's going on. It's i7.5. I think I reviewed it for Xbox Enthusiast. A Nintendo-related game, though, I started The Last Story.
Okay.
Which, if I remember correctly, Mike, you liked? Okay.
Mike?
Mike is gone.
I'm pretty sure that was the one he liked, and it was the not Xenoblade. I think it was some other one that he didn't like.
Yeah, well, there was Pandora's Tower.
3 of them.
And
oh, maybe it was Pandora's Tower he liked. Anyway,
no,
go
I'm
on.
pretty sure The Last Story is the one he liked. And so it's an interesting game. It's like an action game, but real time action RPG, except you don't directly control the actions of your character. It's a little more strategic based, which is interesting. So like when you run up to an enemy, it'll automatically swipe the sword instead of you having to manually press the button to swipe the sword, which is a little interesting. And at first it sounds a little strange and like not okay, but then they start introducing other elements. At any moment you can hold down the A button and you'll be able to do it'll give you an overview of the map, and you can choose a location and use a special move called the Gale Storm, I think it's what it's called. There are commands you can do. There are there's a special move that'll make all the enemies drawn to attack you, and it powers up your characters, stuff like that. So it's an interesting game in that regard. So far I'm having fun. I think I'm about 5 hours into it. And Mike is back. We're talking about The Last Story. If I remember correctly, you liked it, right?
Oh, great game. Probably the best of the 3, in my opinion. It's the most underrated and still the best, in my opinion.
Okay, maybe the most underrated. I still haven't played Pandora's Tower, and I think Xenoblade is better in my opinion. But
you know what the thing is? Why I like The Last Story more is because I thought Xenoblade was going to be an action RPG rather than actually being kind of like a faux pas kind of version, you know? Like, this one's, like, a legitimate action RPG. Like, I just think that, what they did, like, they kind of upped the level. Like, everyone talks about, like, Kingdom Hearts or, like, now Final Fantasy 15 coming up. But, like, The Last Story, it combined first-person elements. It has that little bit of tactical RPG, and your AIs will actually listen to it. And, like, that gives you that pre-planned thing. They let you use the walls and environments. Like, I think that was one of the coolest things. Like, when I ran up a wall.
Element. Before you walk into any battle, it'll give you, like, an overview of the battle screen, where all the enemies are, like a recon, almost. And then you can actually, strategize where to send characters. You can hide behind walls, sneak up before even starting battle. And this is, like, you usually don't get those mechanics in an action RPG. You don't have, sneak attacks and this and that and the other.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I think the first person element was just kind of a little like extra, like, you know what I mean. Like, it's not like the coolest thing, but I was like, you know what? I kind of appreciate that they added it. So you're having like 3 different types of gameplays. Like, it's not really integral for the game or like super important. Where it's like, oh man, I really need to snipe this guy's head. Like, maybe for one battle, but I think it was something cool to get thrown in. But the game is like, it's pretty short. I mean, there's only really one town with a lot of super side quests in it. So it's like, oh, go here and fight everybody, or just keep traveling and get more items. Like, I could do one of those rather than continuing the main story, which makes sense. Like, I get like hit that this game versus Xenoblade is like literally looking at like one town versus like an entire freaking planet, you know. But I just appreciated it more for its gameplay. Like, it was like kind of more what I wanted when out of Xenoblade. I thought it was going to be like that kind of action RPG. Like, if both games can have like a baby, it'd probably be like one of the best games. So let maybe that'll happen. It'll be like Project like Fall Rain or something even more clever. But once you play Pandora's Tower, let me know, because that game I had no expectations for, and it kind of blew me away. Like, I was like, I never really played Shadow Ico and Shadow whatever.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus. That's it, from Team Ico. Yeah, I never played it, but everyone says it's kind of just like that, except like I don't know if it's supposed to be darker or it has like a little bit more like or if it has a little bit more of like action-y, like, I don't know, like the right word for it. I guess like more gameplay-ish or RPG gameplay like. But like, I played that game and I couldn't put it down. And it's got multiple endings, which is kind of, it's more of like Luigi's Mansion-esque endings where it's like ranked on how you did. But it was awesome. Like, I enjoyed all 3 games. I thought they were all great. So nothing bad to say about any of them except for Xenoblade, because it wasn't what I wanted. It was still great. Could have been perfect, man. Could have been perfect.
So did you want to say something else on last story, Eli?
I mean, I think all I had to say. I don't think it's a super short game. I think from my understanding, it's like 20 hours long. I'm about 5 hours in, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I did. The way I felt like it was like it kind of took a while. They like get going, and then once it gets going, you're like, "Wow, this is awesome! I can't stop." Like I have a horde battle now, or I have a boss battle, and then it's just like it kind of gets like a little bit like dry. You're like, wait a minute, and then it kind of all pauses at the end. But I feel like it's just short main story wise. Like like you do want to explore the town or just do some of these like the Roman Colosseum battles, which I think is good. Like if a game doesn't entice you to do not the main story the whole game, then it's not that good. Like in Xenoblade, I didn't just want to like go, okay, let me just go town to town. Like I wanted to be like, what is like? Let me collect these ores or like do one of those monster quests. Even though I shouldn't be doing it because I'm already like 60 hours in. But I think that's something that's good. Like Pandora's Tower is not really. It's only you. So there's no side quest in that game. It's like literally go to this dungeon at this time and kill this boss. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like it'll be fun, but it's so good. Like night and day is so. Night and day is so different. Like if you enter a dungeon at night, or you can only do some dungeons at night. So it's like it's really cool.
Cool. Eli, did you say you played something else?
No, I just been other than that, I've been playing like FIFA. But
okay.
I guess we can.
What a college, bro. You're here.
So, Mike, have you been playing anything other than Pokemon Go?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Pokemon Go. Oh, wait, you said that. But, I started to replay, Phoenix Wright. Well, I wanted to rerun the trilogy because it's summer. But I officially got every single medal in Star Fox Zero. And my overall opinion about the game is it's not really that bad. Like, it's not that bad. Like, I think people just kind of stop giving it a shot. Just because they're like uncomfortable with it, which is fair because I hated anything Landmaster or not R-Wing. But I was like, you know what? Let me use my Falco amiibo, and I had like the black R-Wing. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Spoiler alert: once you get every single medal, you don't have to buy the amiibos. That's the gift they give you.
At that point, though, what use do you have for it?
Yeah, I was like,
I beat everything. What am I going to do?
Yeah. You beat like the way it goes is you beat the main game, you get arcade mode, which is kind of like the N64 where you just run through, except you don't get to like retry any level. It's just like a straight path through. It kind of has like a Shadow the Hedgehog ending result screen, and then you unlock a sound test once you beat arcade mode. It's not really too many things to like unlock. It's like, oh, here's some missions in training mode. So it's not as deep as you think, or there's no expert mode and stuff. And Fox wearing sunglasses and stuff, and the ending's not different. There's only one Venom. But to be honest, like I grew to enjoy the game. I guess when I was going for medal hunting, like the controls were pretty good. Like I don't have motion controls always on. You could change it to motion controls only on when you L target, which I like never do anyway. But if you hit start and you look at the top right of your pad, it'll be on auto or semi-auto. I keep mine on semi-auto, so the stick will move with my cursor, so it's not as terrible as people like. I guess people never hit start when they were checking the game. So, but like I said, I just grew to enjoy it. Like I think it's a pretty good game. It's not the great game. It's like a 8 out of 10 kind of game. Like I think it grows on you the more you play it. It sucks at first, or it'll hit you right away at first, and then it'll suck. Like at some point of your time you're playing it, it's gonna suck. As long as you kind of give it a chance after that, you're gonna enjoy it. So I did that.
How long do you think it figured for you to get used to the controls?
I'd say like the third day. So
how many hours is that?
Like I'm talking like days of like. I'm not playing 24 hours straight. No. Let's say like we play 2 hours a day, So by like the 8th hour, like after you kind of run through the game once and you're like, I don't think I did that good. And you get like 0 to 1 medals and you're like, maybe I'll play again. I want to get some other levels. It'll kind of make more sense. I was like, oh yeah, splash damage works, which is when you have a charge shot and you don't lock on and you kind of shoot it and you hit the ground near it or somewhere around it. You'll still get the +1. Now you'll get like extra hits for that. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, you know what, the game's getting slower. But it really kicked off for me once I changed those controls to semi-auto, rather than auto freaking motion sensor controls. Like, once I got rid of that, like, I was like, wow, this game is, like, I'm feeling it. Like I said, whoever gave it up, give it another shot. with these different controls. I don't know if it's going to make a difference for anybody, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun that way. I mean, it still sucks that I went back to play Star Fox 64 after I did this, and I was like, that game is still better. Like the story, it's like a little bit more quotable. It's more fun. I don't think it's nostalgia. I just think it's like a better made game.
Yeah.
But after that, I think I was playing Tales of Xillia 2, so I was trying to run through it real quick so I could trade the game and get some other random game. And then I finally put in Xenoblade Chronicles X into my Wii U, and I didn't download any of those extra packs, so I don't know if that's a bad thing to do and all that, but I mean, if anybody knows, because I'm confused on it, like, can I play the game without those packs? Or...
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
you can, but the loading screens are longer and the textures are worse.
Yeah.
I could deal with it.
And it's already a pretty shitty looking game.
Yeah, I could deal with it. When's it going to bump up from 480 to 481p? That's fine. But, yeah, let's see. And then... I've been playing the occasional Mario Maker and Trash 4. So
nice. Yeah. All right, so I guess before we get into Pokemon news, it has become quite the phenomenon, and a ton of crazy things have happened. A lot of people have had some crazy stories, so I just wanted to run down some of the crazy things that have happened with this game. So one person tried to play the game remotely by strapping it to their drone and just flying it around the city so they could just sit in their backyard and be a chump. A guy met a girl while playing Pokemon Go and ended up asking her on a date, which is pretty weird. People found...
Hey, I'd do that. I mean, why not? You just strike up a conversation and come on.
It's just so
that was
weird.
Bound to happen. And get married.
Well, okay, was she fat or not? Gosh, don't worry about it.
The people found Pokemon while at a strip club. It's pretty funny.
God.
A girl found a dead body while roaming around and playing the game, so that's kind of weird. And no, there wasn't a Ghastly at the scene. Haha. Hospitals and police departments.
I'm pretty sure he was near my Dunkin' Donuts. So.
Yeah. So hospitals and police departments and other buildings have actually put out like a notice saying, please don't come in and like raid our business. You can play the game while being outside. Don't disrupt everything. A cop thought some Pokemon Go players were dealing drugs because they were hanging out at 3 a.m, around some park or bench. Some robbers set waypoints to attract people to a location and ended up robbing them, which is horrible, but it's also kind of funny. In a dark, twisted way. And one man's house, which was previously a church, has been turned into a Pokemon gym, and now people are constantly, like, going up to his house on the, just on the street, like, passing by. He's like, please get rid of them. It's gonna cause more problems. But yeah, those are just some of the crazy and weird stories that have happened with Pokemon Go. I don't have the game because 1, it's not available in Canada, 2, I don't have a smartphone, and 3, even if my iPad had 3G, I'm not risking taking my iPad out. So
there's one more funny story. Did you get the one on the Westboro Baptist Church?
Yeah, I heard a bit of that.
Did you say that? I must have missed it because I was just reading it right now.
No, I wasn't. I didn't read it yet.
Okay, well, so there was a Westboro Baptist Church. It's this terrible church. They're the ones, they go to military funerals, and they protest saying that the reason the military member was killed was because America's lenient gay policy, and that, they always have the signs that say God hates fags, it's them. Anyway, apparently their church in Topeka, Kansas was a gym, and someone claimed the gym with a male Clefairy that said, or I guess there are no genders, with a Clefairy that said "Love is love" as the name, and they were outraged. They tweeted a tweet very angry about this whole ordeal. It said "Repent or perish" with a Clefairy on it, and they're very butthurt about this all.
Well, I heard that apparently they started up a team and now they're trying to reclaim the gym. So it's just gotten out of control, and now it's hilarious. It's like you're playing into their game of playing the game.
That is so fun. Whoever came up with that idea is a genius.
Well, some people, I read some Reddit stuff, and some people were like, maybe businesses will pay off the company to set up their location as a gym so that it will attract more people and more business. I'm like, that is deceptively amazingly smart. Just be like, yeah, we got a gym. Everyone come over here. Oh, you're thirsty? Here, have some drinks and some food and lunch. Crazy.
Yeah, there are just so many funny stories. I mean, I saw today. Okay, first of all, my friends and I went on a 14-mile bike ride today, for Pokemon Go related purposes. And on our way, we saw a golf cart rolling through our neighborhood with 4 kids playing Pokemon Go. Like, I don't even think they should be, like, where'd they get a golf cart? And they were just rolling through, blaring music, and catching Pokemon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
It's hilarious.
Yeah, so why don't you guys get into your experiences?
Yeah, it's just funny, these funny situations. I went to a concert on Saturday. People were sending down lures left and right. It was really awesome. There were 3 Poké spots where I was waiting in line. Problem was my phone died after like 2.5 hours, so that wasn't fun. But it was cool. Everyone was playing Pokemon Go. All my friends and other people that I saw were playing Pokemon Go. You know, there were cool Pokemon through the lures that I was catching. And then, like, today I went to the movie. We biked to the movie theater, which had 3 Poké spots in front of there. We sat in front of there. A Hitmonchan popped up. I mean, one really cool thing that I didn't realize is, and maybe this is just overlooked in general, but the first generation had a lot of one-off Pokemon. Mm-hmm. You know, Pokemon without any evolutions or whatchamacallits, or whatever, evolutionary chains. Yeah. And so later they may have, like Jinx, for example. Smoochum evolves into Jinx, but in the first generation, Jinx doesn't have an evolutionary chain. Mm-hmm. And I thought about it, and there are just so many Pokemon in the first generation that don't evolve into anything. Yeah. And it's just, so it's cool when they pop up because they're kind of one-off things, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, a Tauros popped up, and I'm like, that is really cool. And I totally forgot a Tauros existed, but they're awesome. Or
I picked up a Scyther, and I was just like, oh man, like, I could get Caesar. No, wait, no, I can't. Damn, yeah. It's big spoiled.
Farfetch'd is the big one.
Oh, I
haven't gotten anything.
There are a few Pokemon that I've not heard of anyone seeing, like Ditto, of course, nobody's seen. Yeah. I've heard, I've not seen anyone catch a Farfetch'd. I have,
I missed out on a Farfetch'd. There was one, like, apparently, like, popped up, and I swear I was clicking it, and my thing crashed, and I was like, is this real? Like, I don't know, because it was late at night, so I'm pretty sure I was dreaming.
I saw Pikachu this morning, clicked on it, and ran out of Pokeballs. That's when I spent $10 buying Pokeballs.
You just have to have this one Pikachu.
This was the first time I've ever spent money on the phone. I had to input my payment information for the first time. I feel a little dirty about it.
You look in the mirror, like, take a hot shower, and then, like, rub your face, and, like, and you have, like, a 5 o'clock shadow and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a huge deal. I got 300 Pokeballs for $10. It's not terrible. And I still went to Pokespots. It's not like I just used that. I went Pokespots for replenished. I think I'll end of the day with like 3 less than I started. In terms of Pokeballs. But it's a fun game. It's interesting. I mean, there are fun things like I went to a gym and saw one of my other friends there. It wasn't even planned. It was just this kid. I mean, not a really good friend, but one of my friends from high school was just walking there. We met each other. We talked. I took over the gym. It took me 2 days. And then this guy from the yellow team, screw yellow, screw blue, because Team Valor is where it's at.
Team Circle.
This guy I just see this guy. I was already a little ways from the gym, and I see someone walk up to the gym, grab their phone out, and they start playing. I'm like, what team are you on? He's like, Team Yellow. And I'm like, screw off. And I went back, and we went back and forth. He took it over, then I took it over, then he took it over, then I took it over. And it's just it's fun in that way, you know? It's getting people out. Like, you can't go anywhere. Everyone's playing it.
So here's my question. What makes it fun? Is it the fact that you walk somewhere and then it's like a surprise, like, oh crap, there's a Pokemon, like I randomly walked into it? Like, what makes this game compelling? Because I haven't been able to play it, so...
I think it's the collectible aspect, the fact that it's just so cool to collect them again, and the fact that everyone else... Okay, so I was surprised. Like, when Metamo came out, I downloaded Metamo, but that's because, like, I'm into Nintendo. Yeah. So, of course, I downloaded it, but I don't know anyone else in my, like, in real life that I talked to that downloaded Metamo. And... I download Pokemon Go, and I go in I'm in a few politics group chats with friends and organizations I'm in. I'm like, hey, did anyone, pick up Pokemon Go? I didn't think anyone would. Everyone downloaded Pokemon Go. All of my friends in Denver here downloaded Pokemon Go. All of my university friends downloaded Pokemon Go. Like, 80% of the people I know have it downloaded on their phone, which is just ludicrous. Everyone is playing, and we'll just be like, when we were driving to the concert, I'm like, oh, there's this, I just caught this one. And we're just talking, like, everyone had their phones out, everyone's like, oh, I just caught this one, oh, I got that one. Oh, what team are you on? I'm on red, alright, I'll join red too. Yeah, it's actually, like, this phenomenon, because everyone is playing it, and I think it's downloaded now on 5% of all Android devices. Probably numbers are similar on iOS. You gotta think a certain percentage of them are probably, like, not active anymore. A certain percentage of them are older people. And so in the university demographic, God, it's got to be like half the people in college probably have downloaded. Yeah. And it's just awesome. Like, we talk with each other. People are showing off what gyms they've conquered. And I think that's why it's so fun. It's more because the community based around it. And it's like, I was talking to a friend who's still back at stayed in East Lansing for the summer. That's where I go to school. And it's just like, oh, there's a gym here and here. Oh, and there's this competition happening here. These are the types of Pokemon we have, because I haven't seen any Weedle. Like, I haven't seen a Weedle at all. And they're all over Michigan. All over East Lansing. It's cool, to talk with people. I don't know. Mike, what about you?
I mean, okay, I got it, but then I wasn't, like, too into it at first. Like, to be honest, like, I had it, and I think everyone around me was more into it than me. Like, my younger brother, who wasn't even a big Pokemon guy, was, like, way into it. And I was like, maybe it's because I'm busy with work right now, or, like, I didn't kind of get to read any of the instructions, so I had no idea what was going on. Like, I didn't know you had to spin stops when I first got it. I was like,
okay, terrible tutorials. Make sure, Matt, when you start, you look up, like, everything you need to know, because it doesn't do anything.
Because it doesn't tell you anything. Nothing. Okay? Like, Matt, I knew nothing. Okay, I
ran 7 miles my first night, visited 8 Pokestops, just to come back and realize I didn't get any items because you have to, like, spin the thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. How was I supposed to know this,
So, are they generous? Oh, sorry, go on.
No, ask.
I was gonna say, are the stops generous? So, with the microtransactions, like you were saying, you buy, I don't know, you could buy, I think it's like for every Pokedollar, or for every 10 Pokedollars is a real dollar, or something like that, some weird conversion. But can you go around to Pokestops and get enough that you don't really need to spend money, or is it more pushy on microtransactions?
Matt, yes, no. Eli, I want to know how many Pokestops are near you, because mine might be kind of biased, because I live in New York.
So, yeah, I mean, it depends on where you live and where you are. My neighborhood has 3 Pokestops, and they're about within a mile apart from each other. So I could walk that mile back and forth, and pick up, so I guess, 9 to 12 Pokeballs for each mile I walk.
That's fair. There are so many Pokestops by me, I have no idea.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. I went to the mall, or to Southlands. That's our local mall. From me, maybe 5 miles away. So I drove. I rode my bike today, but I could drive there. And I mean, that's a lot different. There were 3 Pokestops right in front of the theater, right there, so that you don't have to walk anywhere. 3 right there. And then another one like right next to it, and another one a block away, and another one a block away from that. You could just walk up and down that main street in my mall, because we have an outdoor mall, and just rake them in. So, if you're willing to travel to a place that's higher density, like a mall, or I'm guessing a big city like Mike, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like sometimes I'm at work, and it's like, there'll be like 2 Pokestops popping up right next to me, and I'm like, I didn't even move. Like, I legitimately haven't moved from the building, and there's 2 of them right here. All right, and they look like they're like a block or 3 blocks apart. And I'm like, okay. Like, sometimes it's like, I hate when they're out of range, even though you could kind of click it and you're really close to it.
Yeah.
But, like, you'll see your character and he'll radiate a circle. So that's how you know when you're near him at. Which, they also should have explained. Like, I don't understand where the distance between this is. I was like, sometimes I'll move and I'll be right near it. And then I'll reopen Pokemon Go and it's like, hey, dude, why are you like 30 blocks away from me? Like, I swear I was on top of it. But, yeah, Pokestops usually give like random like 3 to 4 Pokeballs, or you'll get an egg, which I had no idea what to do with an egg, or an incubator. Eli, I was hoping you can help the crowd, give them the 101 in incubators and eggs, because I was like, the hell is this? I have a Yoshi egg. That's all I thought about.
No, yeah, I mean at Pokestops you can get an egg, and so the way it works, this is actually super annoying. I hope they can fix this, but the way it works is that you put it into your you get an egg, you put it into an incubator, and you have one that has unlimited uses, but other ones you might get it from a Pokestop, or you can buy them. Those will have a limited amount of uses. So usually you can only incubate one egg at a time. It will tell you a certain distance that you have to walk. Like there are 5-kilometer eggs, 10-kilometer eggs, and 2-kilometer eggs. And once you walk that distance, the egg will hatch and you'll get it. Usually it's a new Pokemon. Like I haven't had a single repeat yet, and that may just be me, but
that's cool. That's actually really cool. Didn't know that. Because that would help out. Maybe that's why people haven't seen, some Pokemon. Yeah. They might be only through egg.
Well, the problem is, I mean, and who knows? Once I get more Pokemon, I'll probably start getting duplicates. I only have like 40 right now, different types registered. Yeah. Once the problem is, it only registers while you have the app open. So the second your screen goes dark, or the second you back out of the app to use a different one, it stops measuring. Which is a complete pain in the ass. You literally have to have it open and in your hand pretty much for it to track your distance. That's dumb.
Or infinite mobile data, because this thing eats your battery and data. So
yeah, I was gonna say, how much data does it take?
No,
it doesn't. I know battery it does, but I don't know about data.
No, my data's already at a gig, and I just started my new site.
Whoa. Let me check mine really quick, because mine is nowhere near that.
I wonder how long it's going to take before someone just starts biking up and down the street to hatch an egg.
I'm going to start doing that. That's a good idea.
Well, I mean, we're biking. I know, but so let me look right now. Well, it doesn't register if you're in a car. And
yeah, I was going to say, when you're in a car, it's just like...
It's like, you're not cheating.
So, I've been using Pokemon Go since it released. Mm-hmm. That was last Wednesday, so now it's been how many days? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's been 6 days, and I've used 63 megabytes. So I'm at about 10 megabytes a day. Now, this is probably larger than it will be eventually, because first of all, they said they'd make sure it uses less data. Mm-hmm. But the other problem is that the app is really unstable. This is the biggest thing. It crashes all the freaking time. What I hate the most is like when you throw a Pokeball and then it just freezes. And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. I'm sorry for swearing.
Whatever.
So it crashes a lot. It's unstable. And so I'm guessing part of the reason it's also taking up a lot of, not even a lot, but part of the data is probably the fact that I'm reopening the app and it's got to reload everything whenever it crashes, as opposed to just keeping it open. And saving locally in the cache or whatever. So that's the only thing. I don't know how you used up a gigabyte, man, because I've been using this thing probably like 3-4 hours a day.
You probably used some other app.
Yeah, it might be, because I looked specifically, it's like 60 megs. That's not terrible.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, with the Pokemon stops, I've heard from interviews that the way they choose it, or the way it's been automatically randomly chosen or whatever, are like points of interest. So like a museum or a government building or this or that. Do they have more Pokemon stops, like, I don't know, for just random stores? Because basically my problem is whenever I'm able to play this game, which is who knows how when, because I don't plan on getting a smartphone anytime soon. I live in the middle of butt kick nowhere. So like within 10 minutes, there's only like, I don't know, 2 schools and like a park. And then 20 minutes is just like a plaza of random stores, and then 30 minutes is a mall. And that's basically all my town has. We don't have like an art museum or anything like that. So I'm wondering how how do they determine Pokemon stops?
Do you have a lot of churches?
Like I guess a couple, but they're not. I wouldn't really say within walking distance.
So the Pokestops in my neighborhood, there's one at we have like sculptures, I guess, statues.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you call them in our neighborhood. There's one at one of those, another one of those. We have one at like a clubhouse that our neighborhood has. Outside of our neighborhood, there's one at the Jehovah's Witnesses Church. There's another one.
Oh my gosh, are they going to go to doors and say, have you heard the good word of the Helix fossil?
Oh my gosh. There was another one. So after that, there's one in a park nearby, or that the gym's in a park nearby. There's another Pokestop at a church nearby, at a school nearby. And then in the mall, there are a bunch. As I said, probably like 10 or 12 in total in the whole thing. So I think that you'll probably find, and you could probably already scout it out if you download Ingress and just like scope the area out, because it's the same pretty much.
Yeah.
But
no, Eli, I was gonna say some of them are pretty random. Also, like legitimately, it'll be like, look, it's the mural of this, and I'll be like, that exists in my neighborhood. I had no idea. So some of them are pretty random, man. Like your house might be a Pokestop for all we know. You know what I mean? It'll be like, look, old man tree. You'll be like, that was old man tree. It's been in front of my house. So I always feel like it's like important buildings or places and then like a few random spots. Because they got to do some random spots for people who live in Oregon or something, or Nebraska. Like, what are they going to be like? Oh man, you don't have anything, so 7-Eleven's the new Pokestop. It's like, wow, we have 2 of those. So. But,
one quick thing I just saw on the data usage side. Sorry to interrupt, but since we were talking about this. So Pokemon Go uses Google Maps API.
Yep. So
downloading the map from Google Maps as an offline map should reduce battery consumption and data, and makes things run smoother. And so I don't remember how to do that, but I remember it just popped up for me one day. I signed into Google Maps, and it's like, do you want to download it? And it was like a 60 or 70
Oh, I've seen that warning before. Yeah, I didn't know what that was. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you download your map for your local area, it'll download like probably everything in a 5-mile radius or 10-mile radius, whatever it is, of where you live, all the streets and everything. Then it won't have to reload that every time you open your app. That's probably why my data was substantially less than yours. That would make sense.
Yeah. See, that does make sense. Yo, Matt, I was gonna say the other thing is too, Pokemon appear at random times, like in their bottom right corner, which 3 Pokemon are like nearby, or there'll be a map of which ones are here. Like the ones you own will be filled in, the ones you don't have will be shadows. So like yesterday night, there was like a Venonat near me, a Bulbasaur, like a Weedle, Pidgeys. So then you could click one specifically, and it'll search for that. Sometimes, though, I've seen some of them have 1 foot and some of them have 3 foot. I don't know. I feel like the 3 feet ones never appear. Like 3 steps in the ground kind of thing. So I'm not too sure on that either. Like I said, I really didn't catch up on Pokemon Go until the other day. But I'm pretty sure Eli knows.
No, yeah. I caught them. They're usually the way you do it is you'll choose a Pokemon, you can actually select it, click on it, and it'll kind of concentrate on it. And you'll start walking one way, and usually it'll decrease from 3 to 2. And then if it ever increases, then you should start walking a different way. It's I haven't had any issues with it.
So what would you? Obviously, the server bugs and crashes or whatever need fixing. But what do you think would be good to add to this game to flesh it out more? What do you think would benefit for this game?
Well, there's stuff that they've already said they're gonna add in, which they should, like trading and leaderboards and stuff like that. I think there should maybe be more gym functions, which they said they're also gonna add more stuff to. I think that they should expand the radius of Pokestops, because there's one in front of a church, or in front of the Jehovah's Witness church, and it's gated, and so you can't get in because there's a gate in front, which is funny because they can knock on my door and I can't knock on theirs. But
really, they're like, we don't like solicitors, get out.
Yeah, so that's a little annoying because I can't. That is the 4th closest Pokestop to my house, and I can't visit it because there's a gate in front of it, which is annoying. they should maybe allow for user-submitted Pokestops in rural areas, because I heard that sometimes in really rural areas, people are having trouble getting them. Obviously they should make it more stable. Other small things as well. I mean, stuff like, why don't my settings save over every time I open my app? Like, I don't want the music playing. I don't want sound effects because that wastes battery. But every time I open the app, it's there again, and I have to disable it, which is super annoying. Why do I have to re-log in when I have to? This is usually when it crashes. When it crashes, and then I have to reboot the app.
Yeah.
This stuff happens, and it's just a pain in the ass. It should work better for offline stuff, and I don't necessarily mean it should be offline, but when I use my data and I'm out capturing Pokemon, if it loses connection, especially like, for example, if I threw a Pokeball at a Pokemon and it's wiggling and it loses connection, the Pokeball just freezes and the whole app freezes, which is like stupid. Why can't you run a game that doesn't have to be tethered to to 4G at every second? It should be able to run independently and be able to go through these blips without it, That's how an app runs.
Yeah, totally.
So, I mean, all these sort of things. I really hope, first of all, they just make it more streamlined and like that. My biggest concern is that people, and I'm surprised, honestly, I'm surprised that people are putting up with this shit, because if it weren't Pokemon and it were anything else, errors like this would just get people to never come back again. Nintendo should be thankful that Pokemon has a staying power, that when you release a broken app, people will still like fight through and reload the app like 8 times to go and use it.
Yeah.
Because that's not okay. And so, they need to get their crap together and fix this stuff up, because like as much time and now money as I've spent in Pokemon Go, it should be in a better place. Like, I don't even know, am I losing when the game freezes after I throw a Pokeball? Do I lose that Pokeball? Like, I spend money on that? That's not fair. So there's still stuff they need to very clearly fix, and it's not a finish. I would not feel good about releasing a product like this if it were my company. But
yeah.
It's
I had doubts about this game, but it seems it's become quite the phenomenon. It's gotten Nintendo stock went up like 23% in a day, and it's gotten like $14 million already after being out for less than a week. And honestly, it's become what the Pokemon company wanted Pokemon to become. Like, obviously Pokemon's already successful, but this idea of just anyone that's not even really playing like games is connecting to Pokemon, and just the social aspect of, oh, hey, did you catch this Pokemon? No, I'm over here. This Pokemon's over here. Like, let's go catch this and beat up a gym. It's just crazy how this game has panned out. It's insane. As I said, I thought this would be like Metamo, where I would download it because, I care about Nintendo, but nobody else would. Mm-hmm. And here we are, and everyone I know downloaded it, other than like a few people that I'm giving crap for and saying, all the cool kids are downloading it, why aren't you? And I think they launched it the perfect time, when it's summer and no kids, no college students really have anything else to do. So they have all this free time to go out and walk around and catch Pokemon. If it launched, I'm sure it would have been decently successful at other times of the month, but summer is the best spot for them, especially as long as they release it soon enough in Canada, because once it starts getting to winter, I don't think we're gonna, I think their Canadian viewers or Canadian players are gonna drop like flies, cause it gets pretty cold over here and we don't want to stay outside very long.
Yeah, well, it'd still be one of those things, especially for like university students. Mm-hmm. Like, I heard that there's a gym, and so we have these things called Sparties. They're like little grocery stores all around campus, and apparently there's a gym in every one. It's like, well, you're gonna go get food. You're gonna go, so just part of your daily life, you're gonna come across these gyms and stuff like that because they're everywhere. Yeah. So
that's a perfect spot. I'm wondering, so last question, how do gyms work? So I know if you beat a gym, you can, sort of own the gym, and then people challenge you. So how do gyms work? That's not necessarily how it works.
Okay. I went to the Battle of Gym, and they were already yellow team had already taken over. They had planted five Pokemon there, and they do that by raising their prestige. And so the more trainers that attack that don't successfully attack it, or what you can do is if it's your own color's gym, you can go and challenge it, and if you defeat it, you raise your gym's prestige. And the more you raise the prestige, the more Pokemon you can add to it. When you go and fight a gym, and yesterday I went and fought 5 Pokemon in a row, and people will tell you that's a lot. I mean, for this game, that's a lot. And I beat it. I was surprised to find out that I had not taken the gym. In fact, what it did is it took down the prestige of the gym, so it kicked out a Pokemon, 1 Pokemon out of the 5, which was a pain in the butt. And it kicked out the lowest one, not the most powerful one, but the weakest one. So I ran around a little more. I was on my run. I came back later that night and, revived my Pokemon that had died from the previous battle, gave him potions. I went back in a second time and died the second time. I lucked out the first time and I won. The second time I didn't. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to fight this thing again. I'm not going to waste more of my revives or whatever. I went home, come back the next day. There are only 2 Pokemon left. So it seemed like overnight, or in the morning sometime, someone else from a different team, either blue or red, had come and knocked out 2 more of the Pokemon out of the 5. So now we're at 2 Pokemon out of 5. By this time, I had already leveled up my Pokemon a little more because I went on my run. I, got more Stardust. Stardust is the way you make your Pokemon more powerful. And so I went in, took out the last 2 Pokemon, and so I battled 2 more times, and then I finally took over the gym for Team Valor, Team Red. I mean, thing is, you can leave your most powerful Pokemon there, but then it's gone from your party.
Yeah.
So you have to strategically leave one, and so obviously I'm not leaving any of my top 6 most powerful, so I leave a weakling 200, 300 level Pokemon there. Give you an idea, the ones that were there before were level 700 that I took out. Wow. And so obviously I left that there. Came back later that day, someone else had taken over it. I take it back over. After I take it over, another guy wanders up. I see him. And I said this earlier, but he took it over, then I took it over, then he took it over. And then I'm like, all right.
And then you get into a fist fight, and you're like, you're going to die. It's mine.
And then I'm like, screw this. I'll just come back later. Yeah. I did come back later. It was taken over by blue team this time, not yellow. I took it over again, and then I left. Right now, I'm guessing someone else already probably took it back by now. But I'll probably go on a run. So the thing is, if you own the gym for the day, at the end of the day, you can claim coins. Okay. So I'm gonna go. Usually I do my runs really late at night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I'm gonna run back over there, take it over one last time for the night, and then that's it. Call it a day because I'm tired of this BS with going back and forth all the time.
So what happens if you leave your Pokemon there and then you lose? Do you lose that Pokemon? Oh, okay, it gets returned.
Yeah, no, it gets returned to you, but it gets returned to you at 1 health, so you have to give it potions.
Does it get stronger if you leave it there, or is it just the same level when it comes back to you?
I'm not sure. I've never none of my Pokemon have survived a full day yet. I only took over a gym for the first time this morning, so I don't know yet.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
They probably all get knocked out because I leave weaklings there.
Yeah. So what do you get for beating gyms? I know you get notoriety or bragging rights or whatnot, but
you get experience, and so it all really comes down to your trainer level. And when you level up your trainer, you get access to better Pokemon, and new Pokemon will show up, and you also get better items. So, for example, I think level 12 is when you get access to Great Balls. Right now, I am level 9. I'm about to be level 10, so I'm still a little ways off from that. So it seems like Nintendo really planned for the long game. I heard that at one point you might even get a Master Ball, but that's a ways off. Long way away. So... the fact is, I've been playing for almost a week now, and I'm not even at Great Balls yet.
Yeah. Has it been hard to? Has it been unfair as far as catching Pokemon? Do you have to throw 5 or 6 Pokeballs until you actually get it caught, or is it?
So this is a hard question. The thing is, you actually have to aim your Pokeball when you throw it, and if you're accidentally off, that wastes a ball. So you have to be very careful about it. And I actually I can't catch them while I'm running because. Obviously, while I'm running, it's hard to keep your fingers straight and throw it. And so that's one aspect. It is fair and it isn't fair. It's kind of hard to say. Sometimes I'll go through 4 or 5 Pokeballs on a Pokemon, and I feel like I was robbed. Other times it'll just take one. So I don't know. I don't know if I feel robbed or not.
Yeah. It's still too early to tell, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, this thing has gone crazy. It has as many daily active users as frickin' Twitter. So basically everyone who's posting on Twitter is playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. And stuff like, I mean, it's just funny, like these stories, like everyone else, I mean, you hear about these crazy stories, but even you'll have these cool stories where you go, like I went to the movie theater today, and there was a group of people who's like, oh, there's a Hitmonlee, man. I'm like, oh my god, this is cool. Like another one of those one-off Pokemon that isn't evolved, although there's also Hitmonchan, but, when it went into that, it's just cool. It's like everyone's in it together, unless you're Team Blue or Yellow and you suck, but, everyone's in it together to get all the Pokemon.
Yeah. It's crazy. It sounds like a lot of fun. And hopefully at one point I'll be able to play it. I kind of want to play it, not just because everyone else is playing it and it seems fun, but just to see how the Pokestops are set up in my town, and if I end up finding like some weird landmark I've never seen before. Because apparently like a lot of people have just been seeing random things.
Some stuff like that, like stuff you wouldn't notice before, and you might like pay attention to,
That's pretty much it. I guess one thing, Pokemon or Pikmin 4 is in development, but it's kind of shelved, so it's getting the Pikmin 3 treatment. It's like, yeah, we're working on it, but which is weird because they announced it Miyamoto said last year that like, yeah, we're pretty much done.
I don't agree with that interpretation of what he said.
Okay.
I just feel like that's his way of dancing around the fact that it's coming to NX. Like, they don't want to talk about NX, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just his way of, like, it's not on our list of priorities. It's his way of shutting you down, but I bet you, like, that's just his way of avoiding the NX, or talking about the NX. Because I can't imagine, I guess he could actually be genuine, but they've all lied before.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, the SXL. So, like, I don't buy it. I think that's just a roundabout way of saying it's coming to NX.
Okay, that's fair. I figured it was, like, obvious to people since they didn't show it at, like, their March Direct, which is basically, like, the last time they showed Wii U stuff, and obviously it wasn't at E3, so it's like, if they had any other Wii U games, they would have showed it. It's basically confirmed. I guess they didn't technically confirm it, so he doesn't want to say, but it's pretty obvious.
No, yeah, but I'd even bet, like, I'd be probably willing to bet Pikmin's coming out, like, first 6 months of NX. Yeah. Like, I don't think it's far off at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So Pokemon Go is insane and people are playing it, and try not to spend too much money and get caught up into it. Just like the Amiibo craze. 'Cause that's slowing down. Anyway, I'm Matt, also known as the Mango Viking. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Mike is, he has a couple of names, Troyful, Buster, and a bunch of places, but also Gaming Night Live on YouTube. So check him out there. And Eli, where can people find you?
You can find my writing on NintendoEnthusiast.com, or on Twitter at PauloSalon.
Cool. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, IGN, and now I've started posting it on Destructoid, because a bunch of other people are at the very least liking other people's posts, and comment on some other people's. I haven't gotten any comments, but it's the first post, and I'm not expecting too much, but I did get a couple of likes, so that's better reception than IGN has gotten us in the longest time. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get some people on from there, get some new listeners. Anyway, we'll see you next time, and leave gaming to Nintendo.